It's the Seth Williams Show with Mike Kaselka. And here's your host, Seth Williams and Mike Kaselka.
And welcome to another Wednesday night. A Wednesday night edition of the Seth Williams Show with Mike Kaselka, live as per usual Monday and Wednesday nights, and then posted everywhere afterwards. Hell of a day, huh?
No kidding, man.
I'm actually, in case you haven't noticed, I'm doing the show on remote today. I'm actually not at home doing the show. I am inside Biden's closet.
At the office building?
Yeah, at the office building or the think tank or whatever it is that he, stored all the documents. I am right there and have them sitting behind me as we speak.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 3 missing. Maybe you got them in your hand. Maybe they're on your desk.
Yeah, they're scattered throughout. I mean, we don't know exactly where they are. He doesn't know exactly where they are. I certainly don't want to turn this into a political discussion tonight. Certainly do not.
Oh, come on. We can.
I don't.
I know.
It turns ugly. I want to play something for you, though, just real quick, if you don't mind. Do you mind?
No, hell no.
And then, whether we talk about this the rest of the night or not, we got Tony Masaccio coming up in just a few minutes. He's going to be live from another great restaurant. We got Hayden Grove coming on.
Yep. Will might come on with tickets. We got a full show.
Yeah, Hayden's going to talk about the Browns. He's going to talk about his singing career. He's going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
But I just want to play something for you.
Okay.
Because this is something that you don't see me play very often. I'm going to play something from CNN.
Yeah.
Not Fox.
Okay.
I'm going to play something. It's not very long, but something from CNN. Because here on this show, we are fair and balanced, and we play both sides of the argument. Correct?
Agreed.
All right.
Hey, amen.
All right, here we go.
We have sound of current President Biden addressing the handling of classified documents and the care in which he believes they should be handled. And we should listen to that. I think we have this.
When you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago, what did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
Okay.
Now, I just want to know if there will be a special counsel, if there will be the DOJ will go ahead and do something about this, if they're going to investigate, they're going to have, all kind of different things happen. They just found more documents after, they found the first batch the other day. And on top of that, a lot of this whole thing was found out before the midterms happened and released after the midterms happened. So I just want to know if everything's going to be on the up and up, and they're going to do an investigation, and they're going to scream, lock up Biden the way that they were screaming, lock up Trump. Now, we don't have to get into everything because
we don't. But
I'm just saying, we got documents found.
2 things, maybe more than 2. We'll see how I go. Biden did not immediately come out and say, "Oh my God, the Justice Department's been weaponized and this is a total witch hunt." He didn't say that. Number 2, when the lawyers found the documents, they called the National Archives and gave them back. The documents aren't in the closet that you're at. The closet you're sitting in is empty. What we had appear differently was a promise that, oh yeah, we gave everything back, which wasn't true. A subpoena to give everything back that was ignored and not fulfilled. A subpoena that was executed on to get finally all of this stuff, and on and on and on and on. Here's my point. I completely agree with CNN's coverage of the fact that it kind of stinks or raises some suspicion that this stuff was discovered the day before. We don't know why the reason for the delay is, but it was exactly one day before the midterms. But CNN's trying to get to the bottom of this. Difference in coverage is Fox made it appear that everybody else was to blame except for the guy who was responsible for it. That's the difference. We'll see how it played out. And don't also forget,
I mean, that's not entirely true.
Whoa, I'm not done. Don't also forget that not only did they give it to the National Archives, but with regard to the Justice Department, they insisted that the person in charge be someone that was appointed by Trump so that nobody could say this was all political. I let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to make blanket excuses. I am not going to say, oh my God, look what poor me. If this turns out to be something that shouldn't have happened, let the chips fall where they may. That, however, is a big difference than the way things are handled at rallies.
Rachel Maddow went on the air and was saying that this is a nothing. This is absolutely nothing, and we should blow it off. And maybe CMS Network here is correct. The two reactions are not the issue.
Correct.
It's not a matter of who reacted in what way, except for the fact that Biden said that this was irresponsible of Trump. He said that it was wrong.
He also said it was wrong to have him in his living quarters and on the floor.
Okay.
These were in a locked closet in an office.
They staged those pictures. You know that. It was proven that they saved those pictures and took pictures of it. You're not going to see that when it comes to Biden. But he had these documents and nobody else. He was in charge of those documents.
Right.
So we will see what happens.
I completely agree.
If you're going to crucify one, you got to crucify the other. And I think that's only fair.
Okay, then let's start to see the crucifixion of the other side because it's already starting with Biden.
We'll go ahead and we will see what happens with 46.
I completely agree with you. Wrong is wrong no matter who it is.
Amen to that.
Amen to that is right.
You can go ahead and you can join the show. We're not going to be talking this kind of stuff the entire time. Again, we got Tony Massaggio coming up in just a few minutes. Show us.
But it's refreshing, dude, that you and I founded a show.
To take anything. FBI could have taken what they wanted from Mar-a-Lago. They didn't.
Oh, my God.
That's true. I mean, they even had a congressman on the other day saying that the vice president does not have the clearance to take those papers.
Yeah. But, again, this is the person that thinks those dogs are acting, so I have a problem.
I mean, one, she's my friend, so
I get that, too. She's mine, too. But how do you take a dog and sit it there and go, okay, act like you're starving to death?
Well, nobody knows what you're talking about now. But, yeah.
I know. It's inside politics.
Yeah. You can join the show however you want to. You can join the show by texting in your stuff, or you can come on the show, and I just put the link down there. You can come on and talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. We're going to talk about the Browns a little bit with Hayden Grove. We got some good, big guests coming on next week that I'm excited about.
Yeah, no kidding. Go ahead and fill that in, man. I was thrilled when you made this call.
But we're definitely going to have some people involved with the Cleveland Crunch on next week. Players going to come on. Their season is going to be starting up in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk to them. And then a guy that has been – I'm not going to even give out the name just yet.
No, that's fine.
Everything is confirmed. But a guy that's been big in radio, a good friend of mine. When he says I can announce it, I will announce it. But a good friend for 2 decades. And everybody knows this guy from Cleveland radio, Columbus radio. He will be joining us hopefully next Monday as well. We also have – coming up next Monday, the lead singer of Steelheart from back in the day.
Nice.
Fantastic band. Also from Steel Dragon, the movie with Mark Wahlberg, Rockstar.
Right.
So we'll talk to him on Monday as well. So looking forward to that.
I think it's kind of cool also that the audience should know, because hats off to them too. And what we're trying to build here and what we're doing with your support and your input. I'm talking to everybody listening at home. You do what you always do to promote the show, Seth, and you do a hell of a job. But the stuff went up like it always does the day of the show, and you announced A, B, C, D, and E. And all of a sudden, the person whose name you're not going to give away yet, and that's way cool, called you up and said, hey, what about this, A, B, C, and D? You followed up, made the phone call, And not only do we get the guest who we'll talk about next week when he's on the air, but then the GM from the organization calls up and asks you, do you mind if I come on and we talk, and we got a couple players and maybe you guys might want to come see a show or come to a game.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that to just get plugged into what's going on here in Cleveland, here in Northeast Ohio, is a tribute to what we've been building with our supporters and our sponsors since we started the show. That was cool.
James, I can't play music when I on the show, unfortunately, because then they ban me, block me, and
right.
So yeah, but yeah, that's a good choice to come back with. You can again join the show by sending your messages via Facebook, via YouTube, and we can put them on the screen and we can read them. So please be a part of the show and please join in on the show. Click on the link that I have provided. Follow the directions. It's really easy, and you can join us via video call.
Let me also address something that came through our email.
Right.
And somebody wrote to you and I and said, can you just get a phone number? I don't like to do video, whether they're shy, whether they're, worried about their house, their appearance, whatever, but they just want to call a number. That all of that stuff is in the works. We're going to find a way to make it easy for everybody to open up and be part of what we're doing. Well, so I'm going to just tell that guy to hang in there, that we'll find a way to make him part of the show too.
You can go ahead and just call in anyways, and just put put a piece of tape over the camera so you can't be seen.
Bingo. All right.
Both of you are moderate on your side. Mike's response is always about the reactions of the craziest celebrity star effers. The Maddows and the MAGA fighters are all fringe and will never be in the.
I only bring that up because those are the people I want to eliminate from the beginning. Those are the people I don't want on both sides. Just knock them out of the box, and let's talk heart to heart with the people that have been over-talked and ignored and hear their good ideas, because collectively and together, we will start to offer some good solutions and build some bridges and solve some problems. I completely agree, Chris.
Look, but see, I think that's where I get a little bit frustrated with the idea behind the let's bring everybody together thing, because I happen to be one of those MAGA guys who likes Trump, who likes the idea of not having these career politicians control my life anymore, and have, whether it's Trump or somebody else, I don't care if it's him, but I would rather have somebody in charge that's not these same political hacks that all they do is mire us down in filth and taking our money and putting money where it shouldn't go. And I would rather have somebody who has the people's interest at heart, where I don't think that these politicians anymore do. So again, whether it's Trump or somebody else, I would like to see that happen, because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the
nothing wrong with that at all.
The McCarthy is a Republican, but he is part of the problem, in my opinion. I think we need fresh people in there that aren't these career politicians, who know how to run a business, because America is a business, and can get this thing straightened out. And I do believe in America First policy. I think that we should think America before we start taking care of anybody else.
I balance that out, though.
Like Trump or not like Trump.
Forget Trump.
Forget him. The issue is that I want America first.
The balance is
that's what I want.
The balance, though, is you can term limit all the politicians. You can make sure there's new people going up there, this, that, and the other thing. But don't ignore the fact that there are no term limits for lobbyists. And all I've said from the beginning, and this is the whole premise about both sides having to roll up their sleeves and build something different and better than everybody else so far, and the opportunity to do that, and what we're trying to do here on this show, is the fact that you can't send amateurs to go deal with career lobbyists. Those are the people that rewrite the bills in committee. Those are the people that rewrite the bills and put them out and don't give even the representatives a chance to read them. So all of what you aspire to is good for both sides.
Sending the
it's just a better way to do it.
sending the professional politicians in there hasn't been working for us for a very long time.
Yeah, but the reason for that, though, is
just because we have a system that's been around for a long time doesn't mean it's the correct system anymore. Everything seems to change, and maybe it's time that we change this. Gunner, who I'm a big fan of now, every politician does this. Remember Hillary and the phones and laptops? They tried to get Trump, portray him a certain way, and lo and behold, we find this a standard operating procedure with documents. And that's what it seems to be.
Hey, listen, like I said, let the chips fall where they may. Same thing with, and we haven't brought this up yet, but I'll be the first one to bring it up. If there's all kinds of incriminating stuff on that laptop and it's shown that Hunter should go to jail, I'm not going to stand here and try to defend him because, well, he's not Trump, this, that, and the other thing. Fine, let it be. Let all the chips fall where they may. But I want to see that attitude on both sides because that's how you get to new and different. We have talked 1,000,001 different times. The money, and nobody's answered this yet. If all of the billionaires paid the same amount of taxes you and I do, we could solve all of the problems facing us and have a bucket load of money left over.
Well, we can get into all this a little bit later, probably after.
I agree.
But we have a Tony Masaccio to go to. But Chris, real quick, says, by the way, when people go to join the link, they have the option to turn off the camera and just have the audio connect.
Oh, that's good because there's a couple people that have emailed us that are afraid to do that. And now that they know that, just give us a call, join in, and we'll put a picture of, something else up instead of you.
John says, hi, guys. Hi, John. Hope you're feeling
all
right.
John.
John, text in and let me know that you're doing okay.
Bingo.
I hear from you because I haven't talked in a while. Absolutely. But right now, let's go to Tony Masaccio.
Hey, let's find out where he's at.
Reporter. Tony, how you doing, Tony?
Where the hell are you?
Hey, Bernie, give me $1,000 on Buffalo over Miami, and I also
right
for the over. Oh, sorry, guys, I'm on the line with Bernie Kosar placing my bets.
Right, and Pete Rose is waiting to buzz in.
And you're fired.
What a
how you doing, Tony?
Was, huh? Good. Wait, here's the funniest part about it. I did a pool with Bernie Kosar, Mike Trevisano, and a few other celebrities betting on games about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you had to do was be quiet. Isn't it something?
Yes.
Anyways, it's a whole nother story. But anyways, guys, I am here live at 49th Street Tavern, located on 49th Street. It's 4129 49th Street. It's on the corner of Harvard and 49th, right behind the BP gas station here in Newburgh Heights. So you got to come here, but don't come quickly and don't speed because the cops here are a bitch. I don't know if you've ever sped down 77 and got a ticket, but they tape you getting a ticket on 77.
No. What city is that?
It's
Newburgh
in Newburgh
Heights.
Newburgh Heights.
Yeah. So this was the old Cricket Tavern many, many years ago where the mills were right down the street, and you were able to cash your check here. Didn't even have to have a checking, a bank account in those days. You cash your check like the old bars did. It was no charge to cash your check. And of course, they had 300 people in this tiny little place eating and drinking. It was a smart idea in those days. And those guys made a ton of money. So, guys, let me just show you what I have in front of me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is a pepperoni sausage pizza. They also have, so John Pappas, who is Greek, also has a Greek pizza. And what's on the Greek pizza is crumbled feta, spinach, garlic butter, tomato to die for.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Here's their hamburger with Texas toast. I also have a feta, onion, cucumber, with a little bit of gyro meat inside, pita. They're wrapped with chicken, and of course, their chicken wings are absolutely wonderful.
Let me see that wrap
Isn't this
again.
great?
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm getting a wrap tonight. That looks so tasty.
Yeah. So, Seth, what I'm going to do is, obviously, I live so close to you. One of these nights, I'm bringing you home a box of this food when we're at a close restaurant at Broadview Heights, North Royalton, or wherever. Again, I'll drop it off on the way home.
That's awesome. Well, I have a car. I can meet you at Seth's house.
There you go, Mike. That's even better. So
it looks like a pretty lively place. It sounds like
it is.
Sounds like it.
Nice, you know what? Let me just show you something really cool too. Obviously, all of these bars and restaurants, which I have talked about, not only on my show, but I've talked about it on your podcast. Everyone now, and years ago, when I was in high school and college, we drank Jack Daniels. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Look at where it's come.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that!
Isn't this amazing? I mean, now everyone has a bourbon whiskey selection throughout every bar, and it's become more and more expensive, obviously, with the pandemic. And now, again, I'm in this industry where I sell margarita mix. Tequila has gotten really nuts. I mean, it is like to the top now in the cost of product. So again, we're used to this. We had talked about this before. Everything is becoming more and more expensive, and we got to accept it because it's not coming down.
Well, do me a favor. When you bring the food, bring a shot of that too.
Absolutely.
John says that place is awesome. Sandy says, I know where that's at. Cool spot. It is a 25 mile per hour zone.
Yes. I'm reading this also on the line. That's funny. So guys, again, go ahead, Mike.
Well, it's like Scott's just last comment. It's like the one I made 2 weeks ago. I wanted you on at the end of the show so that I don't have to be hungry for 2 more hours. And now you're on even earlier than 5:30. So I'm going to be hungrier another 15 minutes longer than I would have before. So and the other thing is, every single one of our listening audience is going to start tuning in to see where you are next, because every place is different. Every place is good. The food is amazing. The recipes are incredible. I just wish how much fun it would be to do something different well, no, you can't. But to just show up at a place and go, oh my God, look at this food. But and not be so hungry. But I will tell you, this is Northeast Ohio. The key to half of what you do, and you know this, Tony, is it's family.
Yes.
It's family recipes. It's stuff that's been handed down. It's grandma's old recipe. And you got individuals, mom and dad, and patriarchs and matriarchs of families, blood, sweat, and tears, doing their best and busting their ass to make sure that everybody here eats good. We're blessed in Northeast Ohio, man.
We are. And you know what? It's adding to that, Mike. It's not only family; it's ethnicity. So we're going to go to Little Italy in a couple weeks, and I'm going to do a couple of the restaurants there. Gorino's is a great example. They've been in business for 102 years.
Isn't that something?
Wow. It is. You walk in the back patio, and I've been to Italy. You feel like you're in Europe. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And they still have the same recipe from 50 years ago.
A place that I love down in Little Italy. I haven't been there in years upon years. At Mama Santa's.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's still there, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Garino's is great.
Absolutely.
Mama Santa's is nice. And then what was the name? Yeah. There just are all kinds of ethnic. Cleveland used to be a testing ground for all kinds of marketing and all kinds of products because of all the ethnic diversity and the integrity of all of the different neighborhoods. You could test a product and know how it was going to play. Same thing with music. You could test a song and see how it was going to play.
Yeah.
But the integrity of the quality of the food is just incredible.
And guess what started here in Shaker Heights? Chef Boyardee.
Oh, yeah, that's right, too.
Oh, yeah.
He was
the greatest Italian chef of all time.
Yeah, yep. That's something. So, guys, touching upon that, too, Mike, I am going to go to some restaurants that you will not believe they're in this city, like Ethiopian, like Mediterranean, that we've never even, people don't know these places that. And now I'm getting it where they're calling me to come to these places. I just got a call, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to be at it's actually the Avalon, which is an hour away, Grand Resort. It has 3 golf courses. It has 3 swimming pools. It is a hotel with 132 rooms. It is a resort like something out of Las Vegas. There's a smoking room, cigar smoking room that's open 24 hours.
Where is
right
that?
Here in it's in Warren, Ohio.
Okay.
And it's right here. It's an hour away.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I also told you, I'm out in Avon now, but Mary Jo and I want to treat you and introduce you to some places. There's one place in Amherst we've talked about. I'm not going to, steal anybody's thunder and stuff like that, but there's a place that's just like unbelievable. They have a brie, an apple brie burger that just is like melts in your mouth. I'm telling you.
Wonderful. Hey guys, let me touch upon a couple things that they have going on here too.
Go ahead.
They are giving away a 70-inch television for only $10 raffle ticket. They're going to give it away at halftime on the big game. $10 ticket for a 70-inch television. It's a Viso television. You know, I just want to win the raffle for 7 inches.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what my wife said.
So again, this is another one of these gems in Northeastern Ohio. You know what else they have on the menu, which we grew up, our moms made it for us.
What?
Fried bologna.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my God.
$7.99, guys, for a thick fried bologna sandwich.
Wow.
So, again, you got to check this place out. Again, it is 49th Street Tavern. I am sipping my margarita here. I'm going to enjoy a couple of these meals. And, again, we're going to make this happen, or I'm going to drop some meals off to you guys.
We need to make that happen, no doubt.
Yeah,
we do.
One quick question for you, because I had breakfast with you the other morning. On Sunday morning, we had breakfast together, and I see what you eat. How do you eat this food? Because when I saw you had like an egg, a piece of bacon, and a bunch of coffee. Is that why you're hungry for all these meals at night?
So you know what? It's yoga, swimming, and smoke and mirrors. So
there you go. There you go.
We appreciate it, Tone.
Oh my God, you're very
nice
welcome.
job,
Let me leave
buddy.
you with this, since we were talking about, and again, they're going to have sports betting here real soon. Obviously, it happened January 1st. They're just waiting for the terminal. It will be here soon. Obviously, the Ohio Lottery wasn't able to get these all at once. So in the term, in a bet, a trifecta means what? Is it the first 3 finishes in a race in a consecutive order?
Yes.
Is it 3 bets on a ticket? Or is it losing your house, your wife, and your car?
Well, it depends on how many times you bet the trifecta. But initially, it's set up to be predicting first, second, and third.
Thanks, Tony.
That is correct. Hey, guys, Tony Masaccio reporting live at 49th Street Tavern. Everybody knows Tony. You can listen to me every Saturday morning. I am on Flashpoint 1490 WERE between 10 o'clock and 11. And I will talk to you guys next Wednesday evening. And as always, I'm going to surprise you with something.
Have a great week,
gentlemen.
Yeah, well, surprise me with some food, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye. See you, bro.
Yeah, the place looks amazing. God.
You're
right. I'm starving every time that we talk to him.
Right. You and me both.
Got this from TMZ just a couple minutes ago. If you don't know, maybe you haven't heard yet. Jeff Beck, legendary guitarist, dead, 78.
Oh my God!
According to TMZ, Jeff Beck dead at 78.
Oh man!
Oh, there you go. Were you a Jeff Beck fan?
Yeah, I was a Jeff Beck fan. I saw all those guys back in the day, the 70s, the early 80s. And it just, I don't know. I just can't think of too many artists that are out today that people are going to line up to see when they are 80 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
it
seems like a lot of these metal guys seem to keep playing as long as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, but it's sad news that he has passed away. Don't forget, you can join the show via the link that I put up. You can also text into the show, whatever you would like. Be part of the show tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, Hayden Grove will be joining us in just a minute or so.
Yeah, and trust me, Seth, once you get into your 60s, 78 doesn't sound that old.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break here, and then we'll get Hayden Grove on the line, and we will be right back.
What separates Triv's restaurant in Strongsville from everybody else? Some restaurants you go to eat the same thing over and over and over. But then there are restaurants like Triv's, where you want to go there every single time and eat something different until you have eaten every single item on the menu. Why? Because the food's delicious, and it has been for almost a quarter of a century. Trivs has amazing food, outstanding service, and an opportunity for you to have private dining, special events, and intimate occasions. You can enjoy a memorable fine dining experience in your own dedicated, intimate space. Visit Trivs in the heart of Strongsville. Call now for reservations, 440-238-8830. Trivs in Strongsville. Joe Burdick custom flags are amazing. Each flag is handcrafted to reflect the imperfect perfection, making each piece of patriotic wall art unique. This is a local small business, veteran-owned and proud. Joe Burdick creates symbolic artwork that is built to last. Display your spirit, pride, and patriotism by calling 440-305-2065 and let Joe's flag serve you. 440-305-2065. Joe Burdick Flags. Let me introduce you to Charlie's Auto Repair. Any car, any truck, any problem, Charlie's does it right. You know how it is. The check your engine light comes on, you put air in the tires, and the light is still on. 216-470-0170. That's Charlie's Auto Repair, 13728 Madison in Lakewood. Charlie can do it all, from small engine repair to fleet maintenance and system diagnostics. Winter is here, so call Charlie's Auto Repair for snow plowing needs. 216-470-0170. Charlie's Auto Repair. Let Charlie make your car great once again.
And right back here on the Seth Williams Show with Mike Jaselka live. And I want to thank all of our sponsors. We just heard from Trivs Restaurant, Joe Burdick, Burdick Custom Flags, and Charlie's Auto Repair Hotline. Hayden Grove's coming up in just a second here. But thanks to all the sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor for the show, we have plenty of opportunities. So you can email us, Seth and Mike, Mike at Outlook.com, and be part of the show that way. You can sponsor the message line, whatever you'd like to do. If you'd like to be a sponsor, join us, and we appreciate it. But
It's
right now,
pretty unique time. I'll take 2 more seconds and say, don't forget, we've announced that come February sometime, we are going to be going nationally. So get in on the ground floor and grow with us. Let's have a good time together.
Right now, let's go to the Charlie's Auto Repair Hotline. And my man crush, I hate to admit this, but I do have a man crush and have had it for quite some time. And it's the one. It's a mutual
man crush.
Bingo.
See, look at him, Mike. I mean, I haven't seen Hayden in quite some time. It's been since I think July last time I saw you.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since your benefit.
Yeah, and I thank you for coming out to that. And it's so great to see you. And I'm sweating profusely, and it's not because of the lights. It's just because I have you on.
You guys, I mean, I'm out in public right now, and you guys are in your studios. The studios look amazing. I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that you're in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's pretty special.
See,
and I see it's amazing. And I like Mike's setup too. He's got the piano. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to walk down to the Rock Hall, you're going to see me sitting out in the cold.
Yeah.
No, you're not. But yeah, it looks good.
It's
all right. So what have you been up to, Hayden? I know you've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on with it. What have you been doing?
Yeah, just wrapped up the Brown season, which was obviously very eventful. We can talk about that. We can talk about anything you guys want. But getting ready for Cavs season to come kind of into full swing here and doing a lot of singing around town. My goal this year is to do 100 gigs before the year's over, and we're probably going to eclipse that. So
cool.
A lot going on, and I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah, see, I don't even know where to start with you because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media. So before we get into the Browns, Cavs, and all that fun stuff, I want to ask you about I'm sure most people have seen it. The Michael Buble video, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he called you out, and how awesome is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was completely unexpected, and I know that, maybe your audience isn't very TikTok savvy, but it's an app that I downloaded during the pandemic because I was bored, and, all I really do on there is sing and watch videos, and he caught a glimpse of a video of mine and started following me, and we've kind of had, some minor conversations on the app, and I went to a show and he saw me in the audience and called me out, and it was really magical and really special. I mean, he's been one of my idols, along with the guys that are dead, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all those guys as well. So he kind of keeps that music alive in the popular sphere, and it's an honor for me to, to have been called out by him and to have, gotten to talk with him and for him to have his support, which is, still unbelievable for me to say.
But here's what must have been really cool, Hayden, because I've known you, we've shared a stage, the Triv stuff, but I didn't know you well. And then we talked a little bit at Seth's benefit over the summer, and then Buble came later, but this is what really impressed me. It's not only to have Michael Buble call you out and mention you and that, but then to have everybody else in the audience support that call out.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly
know
what
about
happened.
you. And so not only did Michael Buble do that, but then everybody else that paid to go see his show said, oh yeah, no kidding, and give you the same love. That had to feel cool coming from your hometown.
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, well, it wasn't my hometown, actually. It was in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of that's the only part of it that's not
better.
Amazing. Exactly. So when he comes to Cleveland, we'll do the same. Hopefully, we'll do something great and amazing.
Man. I hope you do a duet.
We'll do something bigger and better, and it'll be amazing. But yeah, but I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I had 30,000 followers at the time, and I now have almost 70. So just one moment like that, it took off, and it's really special. You're right.
Yeah, see, for the record, Hayden, I'm a big TikTok fan. My page, I don't really do a whole lot on because I'm like afraid to. Like I just like swiping through and seeing all these people and stuff. But we did start a TikTok page for the show.
Oh, you did? Oh, I hope I follow it. If I don't, I will. I promise.
Right now we have 2 followers. Mike's not even. It's myself and my daughter that are actually.
I will be the third. I promise. I promise.
Now.
So, but we post some stuff. I only started it the other day, so we only have a couple videos up there. But TikTok is like my new favorite thing because you can always find something interesting to watch on TikTok, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And that's the funny part about TikTok is that whenever a new social media app comes out, it's like, oh man, here we go again. We're all gonna, this is dumb. It's gonna fail. Everything's but like TikTok is I think it's one of the most healthy apps out there because I think it can be for kids. It can be for older people. It just depends on your interests. You can watch, I sing on there. I don't really do much more than that, but there are funny videos, there are informational videos, there are, it's available for a wide range of people and gives you a wide range of interests. And it's a wonderful thing. I think there's a lot of positivity coming from the app as opposed to a lot of the negativity you see on some of the other apps. So it's a great thing, and it's one of the only good things to come from the pandemic.
Are you downtown right now?
No, I'm at Crocker Park, where I live.
Crocker Park. Are you performing tonight or no?
No, I'm not. No.
Where are you going to be next? What kind of gigs you got coming up?
Okay, a lot of them. So this Friday, I'll be at Triv's Restaurant.
Nice.
Shout out to Triv's Restaurant. We love Triv's, and I'll be there once a month. They have given me that opportunity, which is great. So you can check out that. My schedule is haydenfrankgrove.com/events. So I'll be at Triv's once a month, and then I'm at Lost Social Club on the 20th, which is downtown below Barley House, kind of a cool, swanky vibe down there. I'll be at Veranda here near Westlake and Avon. That'll be the 21st, I believe. I'll be at Unwind in Wadsworth on the 28th. I'll be at Landings on the 27th in Akron. So I am all over Northeast Ohio. If you want to come, please do. I'm excited to be all over the map this year and try to. Somebody told me a long time ago that you want to go to people's neighborhoods. You want to go to their spots, and you don't want to make them come to see you. So I'm going to go to you and come to your neighborhood and your town and perform for you.
We definitely got to go check out at Triv's, man, because they're a sponsor of the show, and I would love to.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him forever, so I'd love. I'm actually walking now, Hayden, so it'd be nice to walk into Triv's and see it. So nice.
I would love that. And you know, obviously we love Triv very much, and we still do. And it's an honor to kind of be there and sing at a place that was so special to him and his family. So definitely an honor to be to sing at Triv.
Sweet. Now, tell us the name of the place again. Under or near the Barley House? What did you say about?
It's under Barley House. It's literally it's kind of next door. The entrance is next door, but it leads down under Barley House.
What's it called?
It's called Lost Social Club.
Lost.
And it's
okay.
It's Lost. LOST. Lost.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So it's a nice little kind of swanky area and bar and kind of that kind of vibe, jazzy kind of
nice
underground theme.
You make, I got to hook you up with Tony that was just on doing restaurants and stuff, because every time I hear you sing, it throws me back to wishing that there were places in Cleveland where you could go and sit in a big red booth, have a great steak, listen to the house orchestra, and have somebody like you singing all night long.
So that's kind of what
supper club would be cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what Lanning's is. Lanning's is down there in Akron. They've kind of revamped it. It used to have a big orchestra. Now, I mean, obviously, it's a little harder to get big bands in there. But yeah, but they have huge booths. They have a bar. They have that kind of. It's called Dino's Lounge. It kind of has that feel. So Lanning's down in Akron, right off Gent Road or Ghent Road.
Because as a comic, I just want to walk in and say cigars, cigarettes, Tipperillo.
Exactly. I mean, hey, if you want to, I don't know if they allow cigars, but I'm all in for cigars. I have no problem with that.
Bingo.
As long as you bring one for me, I'm in.
I will do that.
So other than the singing, I see you doing a lot of stuff on Twitter. I mean, are you doing what are you doing professionally other than the singing? You work
still work for Cleveland.com, doing social media for them, covering sports. Like I said, just wrapped up the Brown season, and it was definitely interesting. We definitely disappointing, given what we expected from this team. And I think the disappointing thing maybe it wasn't the record, because I think if you said before the season that the Browns are going to be 8-9, okay, they thought, all right, well, you had a backup quarterback for most of the season, that really wasn't going to pan out well, but it was the defense that could let them down. Yeah,
and that was
that's the disappointing part.
Yes,
exactly.
No kidding.
They were supposed to run the ball and play defense, and they ran the ball, but they didn't play defense.
So what are you thinking? What are you hearing as far as like a new defensive coordinator? I saw you posted some stuff again on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, so Jim Schwartz, former head coach of the Lions, interviewed today. Brian Flores, former head coach of the Dolphins, going to interview tomorrow. There is Jim Leonard, former defensive coordinator at Wisconsin, is going to maybe interview at some point. He's not confirmed because he's not currently with the team. Sean Desai from the Seahawks is going to interview at some point. So there are some really good names out there, some really experienced guys that have been head coaches. And I think that there's an opportunity there for somebody really great to come in and kind of revamp this defense. And I think not only great because of the experience, but I think the guys they're bringing in are kind of the opposite of Kevin Stefanski, in that they're a little fiery. They're kind of tough. And you kind of need that balance between fiery coaches and analytical and smart head coaches. I think you need a little bit of that balance, and I think that's exactly what they're trying to bring in with this new defensive coordinator.
Now, I was hearing somebody actually said to me the other day, they said, if Flores gets that job, watch for him to be the head coach midway through the season.
Yeah, he messes up. Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why they want to bring him in, because, you want to have – sorry, I don't – these people at Crocker, man, they rev their engines like crazy. But that being said, you're right. Brian Flores has been a head coach. I think he should be a head coach again, whether it's with the Browns or elsewhere. But you're right, because I think if Kevin Stefanski starts off slow, there's not going to be a very long leash. And we want to see Deshaun. We want to see that you paid $230 million for this quarterback, whether you like him or not, whatever he did or what he didn't do. You're going to play him, so he's got to look his best. He's got to be his best. He's got to be that $230 million man. So if you can't bring him in and you can't do that, and he can't do that with Kevin Stefanski, you're going to have to pull that plug really quick. Brian Flores would be a good guy to kind of become that head coach, and I think you could even give him the job. Furthermore, after even if you give him the interim title, I think you can remove that and just have him be the head coach going forward.
Yep, I agree. I also heard it said that even though the Browns do not have a first-round pick, because of the Watson trade, that they still have enough assets and opportunities and ways to make significant improvement to the team. Between the salary cap and all the other picks in the draft, do you think we can fill out the needs of the roster?
Yeah, I think that there's no question. I think they made Deshaun Watson's contract the way that they made it for a specific reason. There's also some guys that could probably cut. John Johnson could be a June 1st cut where you would save about $9 million. So there's definitely things you can do with the salary cap. There's definitely things you can do to kind of manipulate that to get opportunities for guys to come in, because you can see it. They need defensive line help. They need linebacker help. They need defensive help in general. They need, probably another receiver or two. So there's definitely holes that they need to fill. And I think they're going to, if you want to give, I know that people bash analytics and I understand that, but what it does help to do, it helps that these guys are very smart and can kind of manipulate these things to make their team better, can manipulate the cap space, the money, to make sure that they have the best team possible and the most money possible allocated every year.
All right, we're getting a bunch of messages here on the message line.
Yeah.
Hayden is a new defensive coordinator being brought in to make the defense meaner as well as better. The team lacks all edge on defense.
Yeah, and that's what I just said. I think when you bring in a guy like Brian Flores, you bring in a guy like Jim Schwartz, and bring in a guy that has that kind of edge, and those guys are kind of known as more tough old school coaches. You're going to have that. You're going to have that. So yes, I think they are bringing in a new guy to not only change the defensive scheme, but to bring in a new attitude, to bring in a new aggressiveness towards the defense. So yes, I would completely agree with that.
Are the Browns going to hire Flores just to get draft picks, since they would get 2 third-rounders and get
away to get one? No, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
I would agree, but I do have to ask you this, Hayden. I spent 45 minutes on hold so that I could call the FM Browns sports talk radio station in this town. And when I got on, I disagreed with one of the 10 o'clock hosts who said, "Oh, the glass is half full. Look at the record. The Browns are really close." And it's like, no, they're not. I've had season tickets since they came in. Even the wins weren't satisfying. When was the last time, other than the Pittsburgh playoff game a couple years ago, where the Browns went out and it seemed like they beat somebody, where they imposed their will, where they came out and were the better team, and on and on and on? That's what this team needs. They got to tackle better.
2020 is when I would say that they've done that. They did that a couple times that year when they were 11-5, and but you're right. I think that people are saying, "Oh, they're close." I think they're close to being good. If that makes any sense. They're not close. They're not close.
They're not close to being great.
They're not close to being great. No, they're close to being good. But I think the line between good and great can sometimes be very slim, which is encouraging. So I would say that you're right, but I would also say that you're right in that they're not close to being great, but they're also closer to being great than being not great. If that makes any sense. They're closer to being great than they're to being horrible.
It does, but we need some of the leaders.
You need more. Yeah, absolutely.
Make people tougher in the locker room and not get busted for crashing their car in the middle of the season. You need some dedication.
Yeah, you absolutely need more, 100%. You need more from the leaders. You need more communication. You need more toughness. You need more accountability. You need more discipline. You need more, for sure. And that's what's going to take this team from good to great. And that's the kind of thing that you can't buy. That's the kind of thing that you can't spend in free agency. You can't trade for that. You can't just go out and get that. You got to make that part of your team and your culture.
Real quick, somebody wants to know: do they trade to get a first-round pick?
No. I mean, that would take Myles Garrett. That would take Nick Chubb.
Is Clowney gone this year?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now, I don't want to keep it too long here, but I do want to ask about the Cavaliers. We got to talk about this.
Yeah, for
sure. Hayden Grove, our guest, works for Cleveland.com, does social media and stuff. We'll get where he's going to be singing just a few. But the Cavaliers, they look fantastic. Are they the real deal?
Well, what's your definition of the real deal?
Can they win the championship?
Yeah, I mean, it would take a lot. I mean, it would take a real lot. I think they could. I don't,
They beat the good teams. I mean,
they're going to be competitive.
Yes, they're contenders. I don't think that they will win the championship. I think there are teams that are more experienced than them. I think there are teams that are, have maybe not better talent, but they're just more experienced and a little more, long in the tooth that'll help them.
Right.
The Cavaliers in a couple of years, I think they'll be right there. I think
that's what
right
I like
there.
most about the Cavs. I mean, two things. A, if somebody had walked up to the three of us 2 years ago and said that the Cavs would be the, contending team in this city, we'd have all said they were nuts.
Yeah.
A, but B, this team is young enough and the contracts are set up that they could be together for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's a window that a lot of other teams in the league don't have.
Yeah, and I think Donovan Mitchell's here for the rest of his career.
No kidding. He likes it here.
I think he likes it here a lot, and I think, if not the rest of his career, I think he will get an extension, whether it be at this offseason or whatever, because I think that this is a perfect situation for him. So you add that to Darius Garland, who's still continuing to mature, Evan Mobley, who's continuing to mature, Jared Allen, these guys are not old. There's nobody even close to 30 in that starting lineup. So there's plenty of room for growth. And I think it's just going to be on, Dan Gilbert. Is he going to be willing to spend the money that he needs to spend? And I think thus far he has. They signed Garland to an extension. I think they'll sign Mitchell to an extension. You had Allen with an extension. Evan Mobley at some point you're going to have to think about. So I think that this team has a very, very large window, which is exactly right what you said 2 years ago. I would have never said that.
Ricky Rubio is set to make his debut on Thursday. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, that's a great thing. Again, I just talked about the lack of experience. Well, those are the guys with experience: Ricky Rubio, Kevin Love. I mean, those are the guys that are going to help.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's one thing that stands out like a sore thumb. For the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, people have been saying, "Get rid of Love, get rid of Love," and then all of a sudden, he's fits with what the team is doing and is doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's getting a little older.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be your, I think last year was probably the best year he'll have the rest of the way. But he's definitely a good piece to have. He's a great three-point shooter. He's a good locker room guy, a good team guy, a good player to have. He can, he has size. He can rebound. Good pick setter, can at least give you size on the defensive end. So I think that, again, that there is opportunity for him to, continue to be a great piece for this team. And, could you have imagined 4 years ago that Kevin Love would still be here and still doing what he's doing and helping the Cavaliers? No,
not at all.
I applaud him. I applaud the Cavaliers for believing in him and staying with him and not just cutting bait, because things got bad and he was frustrated and the Cavaliers were frustrated, but they saw a way through and they were both mature and they both got the job done.
I have experienced a lot of the, Love was experiencing panic and some mental health issues.
Yes, he did.
And, I've been through some of that myself, years ago, and it's a tough thing to deal with. And is he feeling better? I mean, you think he's in the right headspace at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with it too. I've written my story about depression, anxiety, anorexia, all that different stuff, and it's definitely important. And I been lucky enough to talk with Kevin about it, and I think every day is a day in progress. He's better. I can tell you that because he's been working on it, and it's something that he's come out and been vulnerable about, and I think that's helped. So I think he's in a much better place, and I think that's helped him as well. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that he is, and I'm thrilled that you are.
I agree with that, and I think the fact that he's in Cleveland and not New York or LA, and the media isn't up his rear end over every single and on, and he can build a home and he can be married and all of that kind of stuff and fit in here in Northeast Ohio. I think that helps too.
Oh,
that
it does.
He lives
for sure.
here.
It does. It absolutely does. I think he loves being in New York in the off season and LA and all that stuff.
Right.
But when he's here, I think it's just a good time for him to decompress, to live at home with his wife. And I think that helps his mentals as much as anything. I think you're right.
All right, real quick, do we want LeBron to finish his career here?
I'm as big. I know that there are a lot of people that aren't huge LeBron fans. I'm as big of LeBron person as there is. But this team doesn't. I mean, it would be amazing. He would actually fit really well, but everything else that goes on with him in terms of, the drama, the attention. I mean, this team kind of is in a good spot. So I don't think they need him. No, maybe for a year at the end of his career. Sure. But right now, I don't think so.
Hayden, how about beyond his career? Because it's no secret that LeBron has said he wants to own an NBA franchise. Does he come home, even if he lives in LA and has an acting career and goes on to 40, 50 more years of other stuff and things, does he buy the team from Gilbert and continue to own his hometown team?
I can't see that happening.
Okay,
you know, and not because he doesn't want to own a team. I think he will, but like you look at some of the, you look at Michael Jordan. He owns the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, what connection outside of UNC did he really have to Charlotte? So
right.
I could, Dwayne Wade is a minority owner of the Utah Jazz. Like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of a matter of when these teams open up, when things are open for him. If Cleveland's open, then yeah, I think you would do it. I think it's just a matter of when and what possibilities are there. I don't think he's going to be waiting for Cleveland to be the team that he wants to buy. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
All right, Hayden. I don't want to keep it too much longer here. But real quick, tell everybody where they can see you again, where you're going to be playing. Somebody asked Natalie, wanted to know what kind of music you say. You do Sinatra, you do all that kind of
stuff. I do the Great American Songbook. I do a lot of kind of newer Michael Buble type stuff. I do Harry Connick Jr. I kind of try to do some different classics like 70s, 60s, some of that stuff as well. So just a lot of old school stuff. I'm trying to bring some new energy to it. And then you can find my list of events where I'm performing at haydenfrankgrove.com/events. That's going to give you the comprehensive list. There's a whole page and you can see everywhere I'll be. But like I said, I'll be at Trivs on Friday. I'll be at Trivs once a month going forward. Nice. And I'll be at Lost Plenty. I'll be at Lost Social Club downtown. I'll be at Landings once a month. I'll be at Veranda here in Avon at least once a month. So I'm north, south, east, and west. You'll be able to find me.
Well, all I know, Hayden, is you're a gem. You're a local treasure. If you ever have news to break, if you ever have stuff to promote, you got a platform here. You're welcome anytime.
I appreciate you guys very much, and I can't wait to see you go national. And I'm so honored to be on the show and to see you grow, because nobody deserves it better than the guy in the left-hand corner. We all know that.
Thank you, Hayden. I love you, man.
All right, love you guys. Appreciate you.
You too, buddy.
You have a beautiful day. Thank you. Happy New Year.
You too. Hayden Grove, man, I just love that guy.
A
pleasure to spend as much time as he did with us, because he's sitting out there in Crockett Park, and it got dark while he was sitting there talking to us. So
but to be that talented and still be that good a person is a really nice balance. It's just refreshing.
Yeah, I mean that's what I love about him, is that he does so many things, and he's out there. And he's got so many followers, this, that, and the other thing, and he's always so humble and so generous of his time. And to come to the benefit that he did for me was fantastic. And I can't say thank you enough to a guy like that for everything that he does. And Triv absolutely loved him because of the Sinatra. I'd love to hear him sing. And so he's just a good dude. And so thank you, Hayden.
He's going places.
Yeah, without a doubt. Right now, speaking of going places, we're going to go to our attorney at law, one of the great sponsors of this show, Mr. Will Spiegelberg. Will, how you doing tonight? Well,
dude.
All right,
there he is. Hi, buddy.
He's got problems here, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay,
and then we'll try to get him going. Right back with Will Spiegelberg. Hey, it's Seth from Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road in the Pleasant Valley Shopping Center, right next to Big Lots. You got to check out Mario, man. Great guy, does a lot for charities, but can perform miracles with hair. He even made me look clean cut. Does my hair, does a great job. Love talking to the guy while I'm sitting there. It's a great place to go, local business. You gotta go to Mario's Barbershop in Parma. Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road. Again, in Parma, Pleasant Valley Shopping Center, right next to Big Lots. Or give them a call, 216-520-1977. That's 216-520-1977, Mario's Barbershop in Parma.
Trust Joe's Lakewood Computer at 14035 Madison in Lakewood. They have over 30 years of professional service handling laptop and desktop repair services, virus removal, and data migration, and much more. You can trust them with hardware updates to your computer's memory and hard drive. Call 216-651-3880. Whether you need a simple Windows install or you're interested in the latest computers for gaming, Call Joe's Lakewood Computer at 216-651-3880.
This is Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, for attorney Will Spiegelberg. Will Spiegelberg is not only a name you know, he's someone you can trust as your attorney, no matter the circumstance. Will Spiegelberg is an attorney you can always count on. Will Spiegelberg is the attorney you should contact for all your legal work. When you need an attorney, call Will Spiegelberg at 216-233-4240. Attorney Will Spiegelberg, a great teammate. 216-233-4240.
And right back here live on the
Right back.
Facebook, YouTube, Odyssey, and then posted everywhere. So you can watch the show many times. You can watch
over and over and
over and over and over again. But the big thing that we ask you to do is share it.
Amen.
Share.
Get these numbers up and we can all go places together.
And then share again, because that's what we need to do. You need to share it and keep sharing. Let's try going back again to Will Spiegelberg. Will, how you doing? Yeah, your phone's not working tonight. Well,
dude,
you got to switch rooms, go outside, something.
Nope, not yet.
It's just not. It's not gonna happen. So.
Oh well.
Yeah.
There we go again. Hey, Will, you there? Ding! I heard something ding.
Now his mic isn't working.
Now his mic's not working.
Yeah, it's just a nightmare. So, we'll try you back at some point tonight. But not going to keep doing that. I like a lot of stuff that Hayden had to say about the Browns and the Cavaliers. I'm not sure where the Browns are going to go. I don't know what direction they're going to go. We're going to have to see. I'm interested to see what happens with this defensive coordinator situation. I'm interested to see what happens with the head coach situation, because I think there is one, and I haven't heard a lot of talk about it, but it seems like there is.
It's out there.
Some discussion
that we're going to hire a head coach, experienced defensive coordinator, so that after the first 6 games, if Stefanski is like 2-3 or 1-5, they can make the move and replace him. I think he's on thin ice next year. He got another chance this year, but I don't think he's got 2, 3, 4 more years to do the same old.
Yeah. Now, against my better judgment, I'm going to try again to go back to Will, because it looks like his mic is on and everything is on. So we're going to try one more time. If it's not happening, it's not going to happen tonight, but we'll try it once again. Will,
there he is. You're on mute, dude. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep trying. So. We're working real hard, folks, to get you free tickets.
Well,
yeah,
it's not happening. He needs to find a better place to go. I would go ahead and I would get rid of Stefanski now. I don't know what you do, but if we're gonna hire a defensive coordinator who is going to be a fiery kind of guy, that's not who Stefanski is. You need to find somebody that's going to mesh. And I think you need to just start all over again. I don't like that idea. I thought we were done with that. And like you said, you don't have a lot of signature wins this year. Now, Monday Night Football against the Bengals was a signature win. And that was one that you felt good about and you were happy to see. But the rest of them were kind of lackluster, like you said. And the defense was the biggest disappointment. You really need to get that defense in order.
And the frustrating thing about the Bengals game was, if the team can play like that one night on Monday, why in God's name couldn't they duplicate that effort every week? And then the other thing is,
it seems like lack of motivation.
Fluke because the Bengals walked in here sleepwalking.
It seems like lack of motivation. And
amen. I would agree with that.
That happens a lot in every job. I hate to say that, in every profession.
I think a lot of the team wrote it off when the suspension of Deshaun Watson went from 6 games to 11 games. I think it mentally a lot of people just said, okay, not this year, and put it on automatic pilot. And that's sad.
It wasn't like Brissett was that far off. I mean, he wasn't a terrible quarterback. I mean, he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but you can win with guys that aren't Hall of Famers.
True. But you can't win when nobody can stop a 2-yard run from becoming a 20-yard run.
If you were right about that, if you're right that they put everything on the back burner, then that's a lack of heart and a lack of discipline and a lack of motivation from the
exactly. And what does that add up to, Seth? Coaching. You're absolutely right.
But you would think at this point in their lives, when they're making that kind of money and you're superstars, you wouldn't need motivation to go out there, one, earn your paycheck, and two, try to keep a roster spot if you're not making millions. You would think that would be motivation enough to go out there and play. You see other teams that don't have the talent that the Browns have that perform better than the Browns.
Exactly. And that's what I meant last week when I talked about the fact that watching a weekend of football that didn't mean anything to me because my Browns were out of the playoffs. Everybody else had a history, and it seemed like they can turn things around in a couple of years, or they get a couple good draft choices, and on and on and on and on. And we're the ones that are still, coming up, pulling up the rear as far as being in the playoffs twice in 25 years.
I mean, I hate to say it, and Scott kind of brought it up and wants to hear the Freddie song from back in the day. Maybe I'll try to get that for like next week and just play a couple seconds of it.
Okay.
But maybe I liked Freddie Kitchens. I thought that guy was a good old boy.
Cleveland. He got us.
He felt like one of us. He felt like the guy you wanted to go out and have a beer with and watch him coach a football team. But maybe it wasn't. Maybe he didn't have the right talent. I don't know. It's always next year.
I'll tell you one other thing I want to see next year. I want to see our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator up in the booth watching the game and how it unfolds up there. I don't know why, but everybody else that, you watch football on TV and they show shots of the guys, they're always up in the booth getting the big picture. Forget analytics, forget anything else. Take a look at the whole 22 and who's out of position and who's not bringing it that day and fix that kind of stuff.
We're getting some messages here on the message line. If you want to sponsor the message line, feel free to send us an email, Seth and Mike at Outlook.com.
Yeah,
Seth
and Mike. A business, we're happy to tag it for you.
Yeah, we'd love to promote the hell out of you. So please.
People are talking about ownership and stuff like that. Even if the guy,
I don't know if it's ownership.
The Haslams would write the checks and stay out of that. It's not like we got a Jerry Jones interference owner. So to say that it's just the Haslams and on and on and on, I thought the organization had a little more integrity than that.
I might want Haslam to be a little bit more hands-on than he is. I don't know.
Well, that could be too.
You don't hear a lot from that guy when they suck. You don't hear a lot from him. I don't know. Maybe he's dealing with other things like not going to prison or soccer or whatever it is that he's dealing with. But I don't think ownership. Again, we used to have this argument on the radio all the time.
Right.
Coaching, owners, players. I mean, where does the liability fall? When it comes right down to it, if the players don't perform.
Right.
I mean, I realize the coaches had to put the right schemes out there and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the coaches don't make you catch a football.
Here,
at the end of the day, the coaches don't make you throw the football. If you can't throw the football by the time you get in the NFL, you shouldn't be in the NFL.
Amen. I heard one thing over the course of the last week on all kinds of media sources. The Browns did really well in the first quarter as far as that first drive and being organized and on and on and on and on. Where the Browns fell apart was in quarter 3 and quarter 4. Which indicated that they did a piss poor job of making adjustments.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they came out with a great idea of how they wanted to start the game, and that's good, I guess. But yeah, you need to be able to adjust. We used to make fun of it all the time too. But that is a real thing. You do have to make adjustments, and they don't do that, and that falls on coaching.
Yep, agreed.
Chris says Browns' failures are far worse than coaching. Talent evaluation is a much bigger issue. I agree. I don't think we need to hire baseball guys to pick out talent for football. I don't think we need analytics. I'm so tired of analytics. Now, I think analytics probably works better when it comes to baseball. When it comes to
the
Guardians, I think Chernoff and those kind of guys over there do a great job with analytics, and that seems to be a better fit for that, and not in football as much.
I agree.
I think you need to get out there. I mean, why don't you just go look at a team like Georgia and see what they're doing right when they can win the national championship by 60 points? Those kind of teams are doing it the right way. They have talent. They play hard.
Not only that, how many teams find gems in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round? The fact that we don't have a number one draft choice shouldn't cripple our ability to find half a dozen decent players to upgrade the roster, because every other team seems to find a linebacker, an offensive lineman, a wide receiver, a running back that isn't a first-round draft choice that plays over their head or is just as talented, or everybody else misses. We need to get our hands on a couple of those.
You see the text up here from on the message line. Andrew Barry needs to go. Wasted what should have been a solid D lineman, crafting a kicker. Yeah. Who was great for like 3 kicks all year long. I can't admit Schwartz is a bust, just bad. We have a lot of good players, so what is the problem? The problem is, again, I don't know. I don't know what the problem.
I don't know. It also seems like the team
want to blame something.
Show up.
I don't know what you're blaming. Yeah, and I think that falls on coaching.
I would agree. I think you're right.
Steelers, Mike. Yeah, I mean, look, you can say a lot of crap things about the Steelers. I hate the Steelers as much as anybody. I love Pittsburgh as a town. It's a fun town, to be honest with you. And they do their parking right. They do a lot of things right in Pittsburgh.
Right, amen to that.
Don't do right here. And I blame leadership in Cleveland for that. But as far as the Steelers go, I hate them. But they do a good job.
Of all kinds of things. So what have they had? 3 head coaches over the last 60 years?
Say what you want about Tomlin. The guy is a great coach and knows how to get that team prepared and knows how to get that team ready to go for Sundays.
And so was Chuck Noll before him. It's just a great organization. That's stuff that we still aspire to.
Yeah, and it's been too long in this town. And I don't know what you do. If you keep starting over, that might be a bad idea. But what we're doing right now isn't working either. So you're at a loss in this town when it comes to football because you have no real answer. You know, you listen to these guys. I almost slipped and said something bad. But you listen to these guys on these sports talk radio stations. You want to sit there and analyze everything that they do.
Right.
You can't. These guys are paid professional athletes. They should be able to catch and throw a football. They should be able to tackle. Tackling, they teach you in high school.
Yep.
You see so many missed tackles. You're telling me that they don't know how to tackle? You're telling me that's coaching? No, you should know how to tackle at the professional level. So I don't know who you blame. You can't analyze this team because they all suck. Blame them all, from owner to grounds crew. All failed this year. It's true. They put a big effort to give them record, not losing seasons. Team took it personally. I don't know. Maybe they did, but they had still a good season. They were still could have made the playoffs. Right? I guess I'm happy they didn't.
I'm telling you, the last 6 games, I expected a hell of a lot. And people go, oh, well, Deshaun Watson didn't play for 2 years. Yeah, but he practiced for 2 years. And he played the last 6 games. Well, I just wanted to see more.
Gunnar says it's all about atmosphere and heart. I agree. How do you teach that? You can't teach that.
Both, yeah.
You
can't fake heart either.
That is true. Again, I'm going to go back to Watson's problem is plain and simple. You can join the show if you'd like. I put the link up again. Click on the link and join the show. You can say what you want to say. You don't just have to message in. You can take advantage of the Charlie's Auto Repair hotline and join the show and say what you want to say. Watson's problem. He needs that release, man. And I'm not talking about the football release. I'm talking about the massage release before he got
just like
to it.
He's just like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods proved to everybody you need to act that way, to just like perform that way. And it was like,
Tiger Woods is a lot more relaxed when he's banging girls at IHOP.
How many men have come home and said, honey, I just want to play better golf. That's why I was with her. People don't understand that. It's just
no. I mean, like, I'm sorry. And women, please don't take offense to what I'm going to say. And I don't mean for it to sound bad, but it's going to sound bad. What guys need is to cheat. If you want us to come home happy and you want us to get the lawn done, you want us to cook your dinner and everything else, then we don't want to be stressed anymore. We need to go out, get that massage, get that happy ending, come home. It's not about love. We don't want to love anybody but you.
Yeah, but
I didn't give the ring to love anybody else but you. But you see what happened to Watson. He fell off the face of the earth when it comes to playing football. He forgot how to play because he didn't have that same kind of
happy ending.
Yeah.
No, you got to find, and trust me, it might take you the better part of a lifetime, but when you finally found the woman that you would cheat with to be faithful to, there's not a better combination.
Look, I'm not saying that, being married isn't fantastic.
Right.
What I'm saying is going to a massage and, it's nothing more. That isn't necessarily a bad thing. Now, maybe Sandy thinks I'm telling that he didn't rape women. Okay? We're not talking about that.
But he asked for favors that just aren't on the menu.
They may not be on the menu. In some massage parlors, they are on the menu. It depends on where you go. Let's just be honest.
True.
So, I'm not talking about that kind of sex trafficking and horrible stuff. Didn't say that at all. I said the poor guy forgot how to do his job because he's stressed out.
Okay.
I'm going to run that by my wife. I'll let you know how it works out if I'm still alive.
There you go.
I didn't say it was a good idea to run by your wife.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination, probably not a good plan.
No.
I'm not going to run it by my wife. I'm hoping that my wife is not currently listening to the
stuff
show.
You don't discuss with your wife unless you get caught.
No. But I'm sure that there's a lot of guys out there who would be very happy in their lives if that was okay.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want to see the Browns do. After the draft, I want Deshaun Watson, who's the leader of this team, to either take everybody and practice someplace together, build the camaraderie, do the kind of stuff and go, okay, we've been close. We're talented. We're good. We're getting older and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Let's commit to each other and make the sacrifices and do what it takes to win. Period. Plain and simple. Do you know how much better this whole city would feel if the Browns would have won the whole series from Pittsburgh? We let a rookie beat us badly for no reason whatsoever.
He's going to be a good quarterback, I think. Why do people take everything so serious? When I'm joking around about people getting candies at massage parlors, people get upset. It's unbelievable to me. Go cry in your beer. Sex is an expression of love to women. To guys, it's an activity like football. There's a mental difference.
And that's the reason why nobody ever wins when they gamble, because they gamble with their small head, not the big one.
Do you agree with that statement?
I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think Chris is onto something. I think we want and think and everything is an activity and emotional and all that kind of stuff. And it's just sports. And if you took a step backwards, it'd be a whole different picture.
I agree, Mike. Is he that type, though?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm hooked up with Seth. That's exactly why I want to talk to everybody else. And that's why I'm rolling up my sleeves and not afraid to take on all the big stuff.
You can weigh in on this. Again, click on the link and join us if you'd like to weigh in on the Browns situation. You can talk about the Cavaliers, or you can talk about what you think about sex. An expression of love to women, whereas to guys, it's more of an activity.
I'm looking forward to the last half of the Cavs season.
Are you?
They may not win the championship this year. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be a tough out. I think they got a decision to make as far as who's going to be the small forward. I think I want to hang on to LeVert. I want to keep Stevens. Maybe Dean Wade when he comes back will give us some more scoring. We need another Kevin Love at small forward to be able to sit there and hit threes from the corner all night long to open up the court and so on and so forth. I think they're going to get there. I think they got a good front office. I feel a lot better about Bickerstaff as a head coach as I do Stefanski. I wish I felt as good about Stefanski as I do about Terry Francona and the Guardians organization. But I'm really looking forward to watching the Cavs make some noise this year. And they play like a team. Every night it's somebody else. And this team plays unselfishly, and when they move the ball, they're fun to watch.
I'm not schooled enough as far as Cavaliers and basketball. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I don't watch it a lot to know the different positions. I'm not really that guy. I mean, I follow the Cavs.
I hear you.
Some nights I enjoy just turning it on, watching games, see if they're winning. That's fun to me.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm rooting for them. See what happens. The question of each night, Mike, what's in the glass? Dark brew?
Yeah. Like you and I agreed on before the show, this, as far as everybody else is concerned, is root beer.
See, what I need to get is a sponsor
or it's Kraken. It's actually that bottle of Kraken that says Kraken attacks Cleveland and some cherry Coke.
I need to get a beverage sponsor so that during the show I can mark it by showing the bottle to the camera and say, hey.
Next week, if there's any left, I'll show the bottle.
I'm very boring. Like, I never drink anything other than Diet Coke or water. Like, that's my entire
I got to tell you something, though. I'm jealous.
There's my glass of milk.
I mean, I posted this afternoon in response to the post that you first put up about finding a New Year's resolution. But here we are, January 11th. And, dude, from the first time I came in to see you and talk about maybe starting this show, when you were in the hospital, the way you look now, between the haircut, between the clear eyes, between the losing weight, between the healthy, between the diet and the discipline, and on and on and on. I'm jealous because you're way ahead of the game, and I really, really admire you for it.
Yeah, all I'm missing right now is a shot and a cigarette. I'd be happy.
Well, yeah, but I don't care if you reach a point where you can drink a glass of wine or have a beer without like falling off the edge, but don't go back to smoking. And I'm saying I quit cold turkey during the millennium when everybody else was worried about Y2K. I had a New Year's Eve show as a comic, and I walked out and I looked at my watch and I said, oh, it's only 20 to 12. I can have one more cigarette. And I did. But I put that last cigarette out. I haven't had a cigarette since.
Yeah, that's a tough
so
one.
Get to a point where you can have a beer once in a while, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure
I wish that for you, but don't start smoking.
No, that would be a downfall for me.
Yeah, Heather deserves better, man.
Is Cleveland the king of freaky kink? Trevor Bauer and now Watson. LOL. Not to mention Buble. We do need a veteran 3 to finish off the Cavs.
What do you think about bringing Trevor back? The Dodgers.
I like Trevor Bauer.
I do too, man.
I mean, he's a little bit of a head case. You're throwing the ball over the center field wall and stuff like that. A little weird.
I don't care.
But, again, what do I care? And, this is why it pisses me off when, people get upset about what I was joking about with Watson. But what the hell do I care? As long as he's not breaking any rules or laws, and as long as he's not hurting people, what do I care what somebody does in their bedroom or anywhere else, for that matter? As long as there's no sex trafficking involved and crap like that, of course that's wrong and shouldn't happen. But what the hell do I care if the guy's getting a massage with a happy ending?
Yeah, the two key words are A, adult, and B, consent.
Yeah, and consent. I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly.
So what do I care? What do I care what Trevor Bauer is doing? Again, when it came out that stuff that happened was consensual with that woman. Okay, yeah, he's a freaky dude. There's a lot of people that are freaky guys. There are a lot of freaky women out there. Go on TikTok for a half hour. You can see the freaky women that are out there.
In a good relationship, it takes two. So if you're both out there, God bless.
And so, I would take Trevor Bauer back as long as he could pitch. Again, people get so weird about stuff. Don't get weird. You don't like what somebody does. I get it. But what do I care what somebody does in their bedroom? I don't want to know what goes on in your bedroom. I prefer you just keep it there.
I don't care about what somebody else does in their bedroom unless I'm invited to be there and watch.
James says that Diet Coke is one of the worst things you can drink. I'm not stopping everything, James. I haven't had a burger since April. All right, so I'm keeping my Diet Coke, at least for now.
Amen.
Yes, Mike Cavs plays a team, not a one-man team. Yep, agree.
I agree. You're absolutely right, Natalie. It was fun even a couple of years ago that they bought into the plan and to see everybody else rise to the occasion. Some nights it's Levert, some nights it's Garland, some nights it's Mitchell, some nights it's Allen. And that's what it takes to make everybody feel that they can trust everybody else. That's why Mitchell and Garland and everybody else aren't afraid to assist. I thought it was cool the other night when Darius Garland Donovan Mitchell drove the lane and passed back to Evan Mobley, and Mobley hit the game-winning shot.
You know
That's
what I
how
think?
you build a team.
And you know what I think is cool too? It shows what kind of guy Donovan Mitchell is that when they played the Jazz the other night, he got a standing ovation in somebody else's arena.
Yes.
That shows that he is a good guy on top of everything else.
Yeah. And here's another thing that a lot of people don't know about. One of the things he used to do when he was in Utah was support high school basketball. He wouldn't announce it, but he would just show up at a local high school game and just really thrill the high school kids. He did the same thing as soon as he came to Cleveland. He's been to a couple high school basketball games here, and that is somebody that takes a time out of being famous, takes a time out of their schedule, A, B, C, D, and just basically he fits. He gets it. He belongs here. He's a good man.
CMS Network checks in. I'm looking forward to the Crunch outperforming the Browns as well. Yes. I'm actually going to get into this year. I am excited to talk Crunch and indoor soccer. I'm looking forward to. We're actually going to talk to a few people. A special guest on Monday, hopefully.
And what, the GM did you say, or the
marketing manager and a player on Wednesday?
I confess, I lived away from Cleveland for a long, long time. I missed the Crunch in their heyday. I have never been to an indoor soccer game. I look forward to the day I have to come over, pick you up, and you and I can go to a game.
Oh, that's going to happen because the Crunch actually talked to some of those guys today. Looking forward to talking to them next week on the show. Yeah, maybe we'll see if we can get like tickets or something to give away. Something. But we're going to talk to them next week. Looking forward to that again. Monday, hopefully, we'll have one of my dear, dear friends and a longtime Cleveland radio vet, Columbus radio vet, will be joining us on Monday to talk as well. And actually, he's going to be
excellent
color commentary for the Crunch games this year. So looking forward, at least a few of them. So looking forward to talking to him Monday. You don't want to miss that show. I think it's going to be entertaining. Yeah, the Crunch.
Nice.
Look, you got to get into some fun stuff around this town. There's got to be a cheap date to go out, enjoy, see some indoor soccer, see something fun. I mean, not that the Browns and stuff aren't fun, but I mean, it's an arm and a leg to go see those kind of games. And I already gave one. I'm not going to give up the other.
The other one.
You know, something like the Crunch, you got to get behind those teams.
I agree.
So is everyone sticking to their New Year's resolutions?
Joyce, what was yours? Follow up.
She said no beer, and she was going to be nice to everybody.
All right. Well, so far she's been nice with all the tweets and stuff. I don't know about. I can't even think of one yet. This is the 11th, and I can't even think of one yet. I know there's some things I should do, but I want to find something different and interesting.
I don't know, man. This new year has been starting off kind of like last year did, sucking.
That's why we only say Happy New Year for 3 days.
But I'm not going to complain because honestly, there's a lot of good things in my life, things I'm very happy about. The fact that I'm alive is a good thing, so I'm happy about that. Joyce should come on live. LOL.
Yeah, she should. So should you, Scott.
Scott always does.
Yeah.
Did I make any New Year's resolutions? I don't think I made any New Year's resolutions because I gave
didn't hear any
last year.
I didn't hear any. You spent at the end of the year, you gave up some stuff and you said an awful lot of thank yous. You thanked everybody that did the GoFundMe and the benefit and everybody that on and on and on in the house and on. So, you gave thanks to everybody, but I didn't hear a resolution where this year I'm going to do this.
Well, because I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking. I haven't been eating fast food. The only thing I could give up is my Diet Coke, but again, you're going to have to pry the Diet Coke out of my dead hand.
Dead cold hands.
Because I need something in my life.
Joyce wants to be nicer to people and not judge so much. That's not a bad thing. And here's the thing that helps you when it comes to judging, Joyce. You have to look at whoever you disagree with and dig deep into why they feel the way they do, because the more you learn about them, the more you learn about your opinion. And, that's just it. And that's,
I wish I could say that I wasn't going
to words to live by.
I wish I could say that I wasn't going to judge people this year, but I literally judge somebody every single day. I'm judging people right now when they text into the show, when they get mad at me for saying certain things. I mean, like, who the hell are you to one? You can disagree with my opinion, but when I make a joke about something, to get so offended sometimes it just bothers me. So I'm judging immediately.
But you know what?
Judge all the time. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
I'm going to remind you of something, as a matter of fact, because we talked an awful lot about a judgment that both you and I made and everybody else that weighed in, that the people that dealt with your parking situation last weekend didn't do a good job of, but you've got an update on that.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and then I will talk about what happened with the people at the Agora.
Fair enough.
With the parking situation right after this. It's
Cool.
For smoking rock and roll food trucks. You got to check them out, man. The food is just unbelievable. Mac and cheese is fantastic. The brisket, everything else is just to die for. You got to check out Smoking Rock and Roll, 605 Clegg Parkway in Bay Village. You can give them a call, 216-539-2239 to book a food truck. Find out where they're going to be at. They're going to be all over the place, especially when the spring and summer hits. It's unbelievable food. They win awards all over the place. Run by my good friend Billy Morris and his friend Todd. They're good people, and they make great food. You got to check it out. Smoking Rock and Roll, SmokingRockandRoll.com.
Aaron Tees and Signs has become your complete one-stop sign shop. Call Jimmy at 216-299-9344. Their friendly and professional staff can and will help you build your company brand and identity from start to finish. One stop means you get a complete package from one location. Custom logo design, vehicle graphics, banners, t-shirts, storefront marquees, and so much more. Aaron Tees and Signs, 4883 Turney Road. Call us at 216-299-9344.
Hey, it's for Audio Bay Studios in Bay Village. And now if you need a podcast done, you got a band, you got to record some stuff, Audio Bay Studios is the place to go. Trained technicians, good management there. I'm telling you, Audio Bay Studios has helped me out tremendously with my podcast. You want to go there, Audio Bay Studios, 605 Clegg Parkway in Bay Village. It's right next to, or in the same building, I should say, as Smokin' Rock and Roll. Some of the best barbecue food trucks in town. The best barbecue food trucks in town. I'm telling you, you got to check out Audio Bay Studios. I know the guy, Chris Aiken. I know the guy, Billy Morris. They're good people. They take care of you. Audio Bay Studios. If you got a podcast that you want to start recording, Audio Bay Studios in Bay Village is the place to be. 605 Clegg Parkway. Give them a call. 216-713-0066. That's 216-713-0066. Right back here on the Seth Williams Show with Mike Chisuka.
Oh, that was quick.
Real quick. You heard the Aaron Signs and Tees commercial there. Go to the website, thesethwilliamsshow.com, thesethwilliamsshow.com. Get your free show stickers there, thanks to Aaron Sign Company. I believe it's Garfield Heights. Good people there.
I'm going to take a quick second to add on to everything you've said about all the great sponsors that we already have. But I will remind everybody that we made an announcement at the beginning of the year that come February, we're going to take the show nationally and add at least one more day. So call us, talk to us, and see about coming on board as a founding sponsor and grow with us, and all the opportunities about video commercials for your website and stuff that we can do to help you as well. But we could use the help. We appreciate the help, and we'll look forward to growing this show together with you.
Just go to thesethwilliamsshow.com. You can contact us there. You can also get your stickers and get your t-shirts as well. the SethWilliamsShow.com. We got a bunch of messages. Let's get to these real quick. The fact that they are annoyed with you at any given moment means they are watching. That is true.
Exactly.
Mayor said he'll go live.
Fine.
Mayor Bill, come on. Get on the line.
Mayor.
So you're just drinking colored water with fake sugar. Yes.
Yeah.
Thought it was interesting how new evidence came out with victim. Watson victim. He was sitting through disposition sometime during the off season. Look, if that guy did anything illegal with these women as far as forcing them to do anything, then he should be in jail. And there's no doubt about that. And if the system isn't pursuing that, and they're not going to put him in jail if he did something illegal as far as whether it was trafficking or whether it was not consensual or whatever it was, then that guy should be in prison. Well, and I would assume that our system would do something like that if that was the case.
I'm going to tell you something, though, Seth. If you look back at what came out at beginning of the summer, it was the fact that he made all kinds of propositions to women that were inappropriate. But at the same time, all that information came out, there was a series of text messages, if you remember, and the woman who was responsible for handling either him or the team, whatever, all of her answers were, well, we'll just refer this to the team. We'll just refer this to the team. We'll see what the team has to say. And I'm of the opinion that because the Texans knew about what was going on, because the league knew about what was going on and didn't do anything about it, didn't say anything about it, didn't change anything about it, that they couldn't just go after Deshaun Watson because it would have involved and incriminated a whole lot more people than just Deshaun. So the fact that this got downplayed is because some of that blame goes all the way around, and everybody should own up to it, which is all the more reason to settle, move on like things have done, and just get past it and change your life and not do it again, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, can he play football at the same level based on some of the things you've alluded to or made jokes about? We're going to see, because we have invested a whole shitload of money to make sure, or because we think he can. It's time for him to show us that we're not wrong.
Yeah. And again, last I checked, you're allowed to make jokes on this show or talk about things. And again, the guy's not in prison.
Amen.
So, it is what it is. We were talking about before the break about the Agora situation.
Yeah. Bring everybody up to date about what happened.
So let's see how many of these ladies were in the business. Just a pile on. Made Rhodes Scholar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
All right. So the Agora. Last time I was there was for the Wish You Were Here show last weekend, Saturday night. And just to recap in case somebody missed it, they have a gravel kind of parking lot trying to get in to go see the show. With the prosthetic leg that I have, it's tough to feel kind of what's underneath you on the leg. And it was kind of a snowy, kind of misty, rainy kind of night, whatever it was. And so the gravel's wet, dirt, mud, whatever. And I just asked the parking people about where I could park if they had like a handicap area. And the response that I got from the supervisor, supposedly, because she yelled it across the parking lot to somebody else, was, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's handicapped. So we did not park the car and did not go see the show. I don't want to risk falling. That's not something I really want to do.
Right.
And, I was on a guest list with the band, and I felt bad that I wasn't able to go in and see them. But I did contact the owner of the Agora, Chris, and he actually got back to me and was very, very nice. Was telling me that shouldn't have happened. Immediately was making phone calls to find out why it happened, and I haven't heard an update yet. We talked a couple of times via text, and so I'll see eventually what happened, or if anybody was responsible or not. Look, I'm not looking for anything from it. It's not like I'm trying to sue anybody. It's not what I want to do. I want to make sure that it doesn't happen to somebody else.
I
want to make sure that when people go to see a show, whether it's at the Agora or wherever it's at, they are able to get in. Because, quite frankly, it's stuff that I never even thought about before this happened to me.
Right.
You know, when I was just a fat guy with a couple of legs and able to go see whatever show I wanted to go to and without a problem, I hate to admit the fact that I didn't think about it. But I think most people don't. But now that I'm in the situation I'm in, and you tend to notice when all of a sudden doorways aren't accessible or curbs aren't accessible or
right.
There's cracks in driveways or in sidewalks that
don't have to be there.
To navigate, and they could be fixed.
Right.
And so I just don't want it to happen to other people, whether it's at the Agora or wherever. But again, they were very nice to me. They were very, they've been very nice. And that's a great place. I mean, I can't take anything away from the Agora. I've seen so many shows there over the years. And I love the facility, and they do a great job. But whatever the parking issue was that night needs to be fixed. And so hopefully it was. And hopefully
I think it will. What I thought was cool was that we did a lot of speculating on the show Monday night because we didn't know. You had said, I left a couple messages. I hope he gets back to me, and on and on and on. And we talked about it through the course of the show. People told you to stick up for your rights. People told you you're doing the right thing for everybody else. You're not just being selfish. This is for everybody else. It's a, law that you had on. And to hang up, have you have dinner, and then finally just like call me and text me and say, hey, the guy got back to me. That was cool too, because it wasn't 2 days, 3 days, a week. He didn't ignore you. He got back to you right away, and hats off. And that was pretty stand up of him.
And I truly appreciate that. And I do.
We all do.
And I think I actually used to work with the guy back in the my MMS days.
Right.
At Peabody's down there. And so, yeah, I mean, he was a good guy, stand-up guy, but I still want to see what is being done. So hopefully I will hear some more. And he said, what can I do for you? Nothing. You can make sure that problem is taken care of. And if you'd like to advertise with the show, that would be a good thing too.
Bingo.
So sounds like a good outcome. And as Chris mentioned, he's a stand-up guy, and lo and behold, he is. Well done. Yeah. I got no problem with the way that he responded quickly, and I just want to make sure that it's taken care of. Settlements, rich people way to make a problem go away. For example, Michael Jackson. I refuse to believe that Michael Jackson did anything wrong, so I'm not going to even go there. But yeah, but I'm not asking for any kind of settlement. It's not like I'm asking for any. I didn't fall. If I would have gotten out of the car, maybe I should have. No, that's not the way I do things. I mean,
exactly. You were
looking for anything.
You were straight and honest, and so was he. And if next time they have a policy where they say, "Oh, you're handicapped, pull your car over here," and that solves things for everybody else, that's job well done.
That's all I'm asking for. That's all that I want. I could use a job.
Yeah, you and me both.
That would be nice.
You can subscribe to this show by going to SethWilliams.com, SethWilliamsShow.com,
SethWilliamsShow.com,
and we'll have some other content and stuff for you coming in over the next couple of weeks, and we'll grow this together.
But yeah, I'm fairly happy with the way handled. But we'll see. I still want to see what the eventual outcome is. Maybe I'll drive down there and try to go see another show sometime
there you
soon.
Go.
And see if the same supervisor says everybody's handicapped. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
A little social experiment. Maybe I'll pick a show that I don't even want to see. But have you been to the Agora?
Oh my gosh, years ago. It was in the 70s because I left Cleveland in 73 and I didn't come back till 95. So I know an awful lot of stuff in history has happened there, but I was gone for 25 years.
I don't know if it was always in such a crappy part of town. I mean, not a good area. Maybe it was a good area when it opened. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm not that old. But it was never in a great part of town, but it's still a treasure for the city. I mean, it's a great venue. It always has been when I used to go. I know they have the ballroom and the theater there. I know I brought on a few different bands at the Agora, which is always fun. What's your favorite concert venue? Like around town? What comedy clubs? What concert venue?
I do like outdoor. So, going to First Energy where I saw U2 last time. They were here, was a good venue. I'm not opposed to Rocket Mortgage because it's a big crowd and it's a big thing. But the Agora and some of the great ones also are gone. What was the theater that used to be over on East 6th and stuff like that Pickwick was going to move into, and they turned we've lost a couple of good ones. One of my venues used to be like the Roxy. It's gone too, but I like outdoor stuff. I like the big stadium shows, and I wasn't here. I moved away when I was 17. I didn't come back till I was 30 something. So all of the local bar, small venue stuff, I was in LA during all that time. I missed it.
James says Jacob's Pavilion, best place to see a show. That's a great place to see a show. I like that.
I actually saw Wish You Were Here at that pavilion there a couple of years back, and that was a great show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great venue. I mean, it
really is.
I saw some shows down there back in the day. I can't remember what it was called back in the day.
Oh, you know what? I also like this the Akron Civic.
That's
that old theater is a great, beautiful theater.
Jim Michael says MGM Casino in Northfield is a good venue. I've seen a few shows there recently.
Yeah, it's kind of sterile insofar as it's like chairs in a big square room.
No, but
the best part about that is they bring great talent into those shows.
They do.
They do. I also like Blossom. My very, very, very first concert ever here living in Cleveland, growing up in Cleveland, is I saw Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It was a nightmare. It was a fiasco. The traffic was so bad, they had no idea 78,000 people were going to show up to see Blood, Sweat, and Tears. They couldn't get in. They had to helicopter the band. The concert started late. And you know who I feel sorry for? The opening act. Because it was some guy sitting on a stool with a guitar who was playing, original music and wasn't very famous, and on and on and on. And he had to face a crowd that came to see somebody else. And his name was John Denver.
Wow.
He played Leaving on a Jet Plane. He played all kinds of stuff and things. It was quite a night. And I didn't get home till 4:00 in the morning because the parking sucked then as bad as it does now. And my dad was out in the front yard going, where the have you been? You said you're going to a concert at 8:00 and you're home at 4:30. Well, welcome to Blossom.
Gunner says, keep getting a message with your address. Click on it. It says report or block after I make a comment. Have I been out of line? Not at all.
No.
I don't know why you're getting anything like that. Your messages are coming through here. Anyways, at least this one did. So no, Gunner. As far as we would never. I don't block anybody on this.
No, we love you, Gunner. You can say whatever you want.
I mean, I don't care if you make fun of us or say something bad.
Right.
That's fine. I'm happy to put the comment up. It's not me making the comment. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. That's a YouTube. That's YouTube for you, Gunner. So that's probably a YouTube thing, not anything with us. So.
I'm going to do a selfish plug. I was part of the hilarity show called 50 First Jokes. And the concept of the show was 50, it turned out to be 60 comics showed up at hilarities, and they were supposed to tell a joke that they wrote for this year. It was supposed to be a brand new joke, and on and on and on. It was Sunday the 8th. Now, if you go to YouTube and look for 50 First Jokes, you're going to see all 60 of us at hilarities. It was a great show. Half the jokes are really, really good. Half the jokes really, really aren't. You can tell the ones that just like said stuff that they'd already read, but you can see the people that tried new material and on and on and on. But I'm actually proud of the one that I wrote specifically for that show. And if anybody else watches the show, looks for me, and has a comment or post or this, that, and that thing, we can talk about it next week.
Fantastic. I'm going to look that up myself because I haven't seen it.
No, I just got the link. Hilarity sent it out to all the comics that participated, which was really cool of them.
That's awesome. James says Jacob's Pavilion was Nautica. Yeah, I saw shows
Correct.
back at Nautica.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a Green Day show there, and they tore down the fence. It also tore a Blossom when they were there. But I miss Blossom. I like Blossom. We're talking about Blossom. But
Public Call was cool, too. I played Public Call with Sam Kinison. That's a great venue. That old...
See,
it just is. I like Public Hall. I wish they'd use it more. I wish the Rock Hall would have more people there locally. The Rock Hall needs to find all the people that are getting old and on and on and on and do a series about where the music went.
Yeah, but forget about that. You know what the Rock Hall needs to do? The Rock Hall needs to build their own freaking stage outside that can hold a few thousand people and have
That's true,
concerts.
too. I would agree.
Freaking water. And have people out there that you can go see.
I would agree.
National acts actually come to Cleveland and stick them outside
play
the
an
Rock
intimate
Hall.
thing. Amen.
You have 5,000 seat thing. Just put out on a friggin' lake instead of stupid
You're absolutely
windows.
right.
Put something nice out there, and have people.
You could put 5,000 floating bleachers out there and have somebody on stage and let the audience float. That would be way cool.
Make the Rock Hall more of a destination than it is right now. I mean, I like the Rock Hall. I got it behind me on my screen tonight. But it's no longer a destination for me to go to. I mean, it's stuck out there with Brown Stadium, whatever it is, that looks terrible anymore. It's not even a high-end football stadium for this town or this country.
Right.
So you can do something there with that thing. The Science Center, which I like, but then make the Rock Hall more of an attraction. Put a freaking hotel down there. Put the casino down there.
Put a bridge so people can get to that side of the river by crossing the railroad tracks with a pedestrian bridge.
Put some restaurants down there and make it an area to go to. They wasted that lakefront. I know that we used to talk about that a lot, but they wasted that lakefront. They continue to waste it, and they should put something down there to make that Rock Hall more of a destination place to go to.
You're
it is such a gem for this town, and it's such a waste. If you were living out of town and you were coming to see the Rock Hall, and now you got to get a hotel room that's 6 blocks away.
Right.
You lose the experience. If you come during the wintertime, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's such a waste.
And there's no shopping downtown. Amen. You're so right. And we have talked about this before. The Mather is not an attraction, but it would be a great ticketing booth. But go to New York, take a look at Pier 58, go to Newport News, buy up a whole bunch of old battleships and put a naval attraction of veterans, of military attraction right there on the Great Lakes, because there's an awful lot of vets between Chicago and New York that would come to Cleveland and enjoy the history of this country. Yeah. It's easy.
It makes me sad when I sit down there and I see all that stuff that is just wasted potential.
Yeah.
That we have down there. And, I know it's a tired topic to sit there and talk about the lakefront and how, it's a tribute joke or about the building with the whales on it and all that. But it's true.
Yeah. It's the only city in the country that has a waterfront and a shoreline and a beach where all the rich people walked up and said, oh my gosh, look, let's put a railroad track right here and we'll go build our mansions on Euclid Avenue.
It's just stupid to have such a gorgeous area that could be so big. And I understand that it snows and the lake freezes over and all that kind of junk.
Yeah.
But you can still make it a destination. And like I said,
it doesn't bother Detroit. It doesn't bother Chicago. It doesn't bother New York. It doesn't bother any place in Europe that has 4 seasons. It is what it is, what it is. We need to do something with the lakefront, period. And here's the other thing I do. to balance the Metro Park system out, so on and so forth. You know where the Great Lakes and National Guard headquarters are, et cetera, and all the stables and all that stuff that's way out by East 55th and so on, and Channel 8. I would put a world-class golf course right there on the near east side to bring the city together, to have people from west and east come play golf right there, make some money for the city, and you could lay out a tremendous golf course with views of the lake, with a great design. The Metro Park should look into doing that too.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I know that golf is it's a seasonal thing, but what's wrong with putting the casino that you were supposed to build, the final one,
right,
over there by the Rock Hall with a big giant hotel?
Thank you.
Have some themed restaurants down there, and then put in, whether it's an amphitheater or some sort of a concert venue right by the Rock Hall. Be a destination for entertainers to come. I mean, but now it's just it looks fine, it looks nice, but it's such a wasted area, in my opinion. I don't know, but we got to get some people on from the city at some point to talk about that stuff.
I agree. I'm working on that. I hope to have some news in the next couple months to get people to come on and talk about how we fix Cleveland.
Gunner, your message came through. Check out what Painesville, Ohio is proposing to build next to the Grand River. I like that area too.
Yeah,
that's a great area out there.
I'm out in Avon, and I've looked at what Lorraine has done to try to, do something about access to downtown and the lakefront and so on and so forth. It can be done, and I think we should all cooperate.
I liked Grand River back in the day. I don't know. I haven't been out there in a while, but I mean, Pickle Bill's, and they had a couple of different restaurants. Out there that were really nice, and I enjoyed going out. It was fun, but they could do a hell of a lot with that too. Maybe they're planning on doing something with that. I don't know.
We'll see.
Who owns the land? That's a good question.
Well, yeah, that's the good question. Who owns the land? Who owns the parking lots? Where does that $40, $60, $80 cash parking fee go? Yeah, we need some answers, and we need some direction, and we need some results.
Close the airport. The one on Richmond Road is fine. Use the airport for attractions. Absolutely. But isn't that area down there built like on a landfill too? Isn't there?
It's built on landfill. And I also heard somebody economically say that as far as an attraction goes, because there's nothing else to draw your attention here to Cleveland, there's no shopping downtown, there's no real exciting that people come into Burke and leave on their private jets so they can do business and then get the hell out of Cleveland. So until we fix that problem, I don't have a problem with Burke being used as an airport.
If all these people with all that money are coming in here to do business, maybe they should invest a little bit in this town, because right now it's not doing all that great. Although I will say this, the night that I left the Agora after not being able to park and we were on our way home, we went down Euclid. Now, it pissed me off a little bit because I had to see the new iHeart Studios, which I was my job there, but it was really kind of buzzing, and it was kind of nice seeing downtown with people out at restaurants and bars and stuff like that. It was, I mean, it's not my scene per se, but it was nice seeing people down there. I mean, Public Square, I thought differently a little while back when they closed off that bus line that went right through Public Square. I was like, what are you doing? We need to open that up for people to take buses. No, they really should shut the hell out of that down and not allow a bus to go through Public Square, because it looks nice. It could be another destination point to downtown Cleveland. And I think they're missing the boat. So people have to maybe go a little bit out of their way on the bus lines. I get it. It's a pain in the ass, but it still would make this town downtown 5 minutes a little bit better, in my opinion, because it looked nice.
I think they need to finish the second half of the casino and put it across on that little piece. Yeah, where they said they were going to build second part of the casino and make that a destination as well. And we should do what Minneapolis does and connect a few more buildings with indoor walkways over the streets, because it does get really cold here, and turn downtown into a downtown, and take Tower City and put some real shopping in there.
Yeah, again, because Tower City used to be fantastic. When I started working at the radio station 24 years ago, Tower City. We were in Tower City. That's where the studio was.
Right.
And it was great, especially at Christmas time. You'd look out the window and you'd see people shopping all over the place. They had great stores. Now the stores are crap.
Yeah.
You used to have nice restaurants there, fun stuff to do. And now, again, it's just a bunch of junk that's there. So they do need to clean up that downtown badly. I talked to a guy maybe a couple of years ago. They were trying to do it in downtown Cleveland, but again, downtown's just such a mess. You need more stuff. They wanted to do a monorail system in downtown.
Fine.
Which would be a great idea. But you have to have places to go.
I agree. Some of the people I'm talking to and want to come on, we will do a show on how to fix downtown in the next few weeks. That's coming.
Yeah. We got to wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. Appreciate it. Gunnar says another great show. Keep it going.
Thanks, Gunnar.
Thank you for listening, Gunnar, and everybody. Do appreciate all your feedback. You can always leave your comments on the message line if you want to sponsor the show. Seth and Mike at Outlook.com. Seth and Mike at Outlook.com. Or just go to thesethwilliamsshow.com. You can see where to get us there. And let's see. Monday, we're going to have a great guest on.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. We'll have more on that. We'll keep an eye on social media for that. And then Wednesday, we're going to have a couple of people from the Cleveland Crunch on to talk about their season. We'll have a player on. We'll have their marketing guy on to talk about what their season looks like and tickets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting to know those guys as well. Appreciate it. And more to come. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Mike, thank you.
Thank you,
God willing, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, folks. See you next week.
See you.